everybody. Welcome officially. You have found Lauren Bailey and Factor 8's monthly sales shots. These are, well, in quotes, high energy when we don't have the flu, tips and tricks, free webinars we do every single month. I'll tell you a little bit more about us and them as we wait for everybody else to join us, but let's go ahead and get started. If you've just joined and you haven't yet, please type your city into our chat. Keep that chat open because we'll have lots of interaction throughout. And tell us if you've been to a sales shot before, or if you're like DJ, if you've been to any sales training with Factor 8 before. I'm here for the shots. Rhonda, you're a woman after my own heart. Listen, I call our online platform, I named it the Sales Bar. So there's your proof. We think we're pretty funny too. Hey, there's Televerde right there on the screen, DJ. If you don't know us, a lot of new timers here. If you don't know Factor 8, we're kind of sadly a secret out there in the world. We focus more on really, really great training content than on the social presence and the flashy videos and the followers. So we've 15 years in business, some amazing logos we've had the pleasure of working with. We partner with 20 or 30 big companies a year. And this year, for the first time, we have our training available online to individuals and smaller companies in the sales bar. So that's part of why we do these shots, to introduce you to our concepts and what we're about. You can join us every month for free. Here are the next 3 that are coming up. But we hope you take the next step and get the training, because webinars are fun and they're great tips and tricks, but training, they are not. If you're serious about trying new skills and about building your career and improving your results, then you got to go beyond the webinar and get the training. I'm going to make that easy for you to do today. So the skills we're talking about today, it's prospecting, right? Usually that's a BDR or SDR skill, but I see a lot of ISRs and even some AEs and account managers who are doing those prospecting skills as well. So if you're talking about warm and cold outreach, these are the classes for you. Guys, we are heavy on this at Factor 8. It's our specialty. So you can buy single courses, you can buy 6 packs, but we finally have a subscription available. You get 2 classes a month and thousands of videos. I mean, not just videos, templates, scripts, real recorded calls. And right now it's 35% off. I'm going to show this to you again at the end, but the countdown starts now. This extra 20% off with the promo code SCRIPTS will end by March 1st, or the first 20 buyers, whichever comes first. So seriously, if you're serious about doing this and being on top, right, then go for it and try one. If you want to enroll a team, you can DM me or email marketing@factor8.com. You'll see tons of the skills I'm talking about today in these certifications on the screen. All right, here we go. Let's get this party started. Oh gosh, Harsh is here from India. I love it. And hi, Jen from Texas. Ready for shot number 1. Listen, this is the heart of our strategy at Factor 8. Okay, the goal of your outreach is not to get them to like you. Your goal is not to prove yourself. It's not to do anything but get a conversation. This is all based on Moneyball. Do you guys remember this? It was a movie with Brad Pitt a few years ago. It was the owner of the Oakland A's who spent all of his money on guys in the lineup who were not well known, who weren't great hitters. They weren't great pitchers. They could do one thing well: get on first base. Why is this important? You can't get home if you can't get on first base. So one of the most important things to measure for yourself is how many conversations are you getting every day? So the idea here is don't sell in your outreach, okay? We're going to talk about this over and over and over again. It's such a huge mistake. We have to stop the pitchiness and just try to engage people in conversations. And I'll show you some results at the end. We can double and sometimes triple the number of conversations and talk time with some of these skills. Because here's the deal. This is what people think about sellers, right? This little word cloud, by the way, isn't gained from customers. It's gained from other sellers. These are all of our fears about how we don't want to be perceived and why we go around telling people we're chief development officers or account managers instead of just admitting we're in sales, right? We don't like to be perceived this way, and customers hate it when we act this way. So why is 99% of cold outreach a sales pitch? That's what we're going to fix here today, all right? No more selling in your outreach. So let's look at some of these odds. Quick bonus chaser, get your chat fingers out. The answer you're guessing, the prize, by the way, absolutely nothing. What's the percentage? You're going to type in a number. What is the average response rate for a cold email? Jen is at 10, Rhonda 8, Robert at 15. You're doing something we need to know. Angie 3. Oh, I love it. It's fast. Jeff is covering himself with a range. I do that too. Well done. Oscar, I love you. 1.4. 98.7% of all statistics are made up on the spot. And when you add a decimal, it sounds better. You guys are getting the idea, though. I mean, our tops are 10 and 12, and everybody else is less. The range out there in the Google searches is 1 to 10. The most common statistic is 5. 5% of the time it works every time. We need to be friends, Robert Bell. 5%, folks. That's a lot of freaking emails to send. And I've seen the scripts. I've seen the outreach cadences. They're all sales pitches. It's not helping. By the way, if you're only doing emails and not picking up the phone, you're also going to be in great big trouble with your pipeline, especially after last year's economy. All right, so what does that mean we have to do, folks? It means in your emails, in your intros, and in your voicemails, no more selling. And what does that mean specifically? I need you to go remove your value props. Factor 8's the leading provider of digital sales skills for nuh-uh. That marketing copy, delete. We work with customers in your industry, and we recently helped Mentor Graphics achieve a Get rid of your customer references, your case studies, your all of it. Okay, it's not the time to start selling. If your intro is your value prop, you're in trouble. Hi, this is Lauren. I'm calling with Factor 8, and we're the world's award-winning provider, blah, blah, blah. Nuh-uh. It's bad, and it's getting you hung up on. You know it, and I know it, all right? If your email has the social proof, if you're selling in a voicemail, this is what's killing you. So let's talk about what we do need to do. Our goal is to get them talking to us or responding to us. And I've got one way to do it that I don't see out there in a lot of the blogs, but it works incredibly well for us. Okay. Like I told you, huge spikes. How do we get them responding to us? How do we get them talking to us? How do we get them engaged? Well, we do that by making one of two things happen. We have to make it fast, or we have to make it easy. This is what I mean. Your email needs to be fast to read. If you're at 3 paragraphs, you're dead. Try 3 bullet points. I'm going to give you exact numbers here in a minute. Super fast to respond, fast to understand, right? Like it has to be easy. So if you're like sending over case study data and then asking super engaging discovery questions and thought leadership questions, you're not wrong. You're doing the right stuff. You're just doing it at the wrong time. Okay. I'm talking about a few bullet points and a closed question where they can't help but answer it. And I'll dive into that in a little bit later. Here's what easy looks like. Easy to read is a lot of white space and bullet points, right? The only people who read paragraphs are engineers and accountants. And if you sell to them, fantastic. Keep it a little bit longer, make it more involved. They love the detail. Everybody else, auto delete. So it needs to be easy to respond to as well, right? Don't make me go do research. Let me respond with a couple word answer. It's easy to reply to it. It's easy for me to think of an answer. The answer pops into my head and I can't even help it. And this is actually based on some brain science. Let's get nerdy in my extra shot. I love this stuff. It's called instinctive elaboration, okay? It's what we use in our world famous Swift intro. When we do a Swift intro, we end it with a specific kind of question that literally hijacks the brain of the listener to stop reading their email, to stop multitasking, to stop talking to somebody else, and their brain goes down the path of answering your question. They can't help it. Isn't that crazy? A really quick example for you. Ready, everybody? How old are you? Your brain answered the question. You didn't even want it to. Some of you are multitasking right now. How much do you weigh? You just saw that number. Now, luckily, we do have a filter and we stopped ourselves. But when we ask the right kind of question, that instinctive elaboration gets it put into their brain. And once the answer's in their brain, it's fast and it's easy. It's halfway out of their mouth or their fingers in a typed response. Cool? So you literally hijack their brain by making it fast and easy. It's crazy, right? This swift intro is how we've gotten double and triple talk time with clients. So let's have a little quiz. Which is better, A or B, folks? You're going to vote in the chat with A or B. Hi, Mark. I'm reaching out, right? Because I saw you're in charge of purchasing at Acme. I thought you should know about our recent win with ABC Company. We helped them save 23% on operating costs. Are you interested in saving some money? Thank you. Thank you. I was just going to be so sad if I saw a bunch of A's on the screen. Thank you for being brilliant, everybody. Mark, hey, I found you. We've got a mutual friend. It's Freddie. Remember him? It's right. Boom. It's right there. It's fast and it's easy. But over and over and over, I hear A's out in the world. And if you weren't taught any differently, you would do A. In fact, I see people teaching A. It don't work, folks. You're going to get shut down. People don't like to be sold to. Here's another example. This might be an email. Ben, hey, you've got over 50 reps on your teams these days, right? Or B, Ben, how have you and your team managed to attack virtual onboarding ramp times now that they're getting longer? And most companies I work with now, right, that are remote, it's fast and it's easy. If you want a response, try A. You don't have to sell in the first shot, guys. What's goal number one? Get them talking, get the conversation. Then you get into selling, all right? All right, one more. This one's a voicemail. Hey, Abby, it's important we talk. Reach me at 555-489-1212. Abby, I want to talk to you about how we can help with virtual training and digital ramp times. The best times to get me back are Tuesday through Thursday after 3 p.m. I'm at 555-489-1212. I mean, they don't, you know that people don't listen to their voicemails, right? They're going to look at a little visual voicemail. This just went on to screen 2 and you lost, right? And hopefully they don't block your number. Thank you for the comic relief, Rochelle. Well done. All right, one more extra shot. This is a great little study that LinkedIn did. So even though cold response rate is about 5%, maxing at 10, in-mails get a higher rate. Now, I'll tell you that this study was published by LinkedIn and they're telling you it works better on their platform. I don't know. I never respond to the ones on LinkedIn because they're all horrible 2-paragraph long pitches. But they're telling us that their response is 18 to 25%, which is 4 to maybe even 6% of email. I'm hearing you. Quinette is saying, nope, it doesn't work. And what they're saying is shorter is better as well. So good to have some proof points behind what I've been preaching for a while. They show 150 words is best. And you can see here, it's about 22% higher response rate than the longer ones. So quick questions might work well in LinkedIn, but as we'll show you, there's ways to do even better than shorter and faster and easier. All right. So that's what we're going to get to next. What we want to talk about is that cold outreach again. Maybe sometimes it's a warm outreach. The first strategy we tried was the quick question, right? Like 1 or 2 lines. Here's another strategy that works well for me, okay? We're going to personalize and we're going to add value. Notice that nowhere in here are you seeing a value prop, a case study, a customer reference, no big discovery questions. This is personalized and some value add. Again, we're adding the closed question. We don't send the value in the email. They have to engage us to get it, okay? So here's an example of what this looks like. My subject line is customized, right? That's his name. Now, here's what it looks like. And there's so many different versions you can write of this. We don't have time to go into all of them. I want you to take the classes to get good at this. Bob, hey, here's the personal rapport part. We met briefly in Chicago in April. You remember my charming green t-shirt, right? Folks, I make fun of myself in emails a lot and use emojis a lot. Somebody sold a bill of goods to all my under 35-year-olds that you needed to start acting professionally, and it's crap. All right. Don't send stupid pictures. Don't send a TikTok video. Don't swear. Try to write in full sentences. But for Christ's sakes, quit sounding like your grandmother in your emails. All right. So have some fun. Show your personality. Let that freak flag fly. Hey, I've been hearing from a lot of my clients they could use more tips on virtual meetings. So I'm launching a free series. Would you guys like to be included? Boom. There's a little credibility in there, right? I've been talking to clients about stuff. I know what's happening in the industry. The value add is my free series. Would you like to be included? Now, most of us would send links along with that. Remember, what's our number one goal? Free prize for anybody who can remember it. What's our number one goal? Type it in for me. Oh, it's a pop quiz. Woo! You guys, great work. It's a 20-way tie. Nobody gets a prize. It's getting them talking to us. All we want is a reply, right? I'm offering free stuff. I know who he is. He knows who I am. It's not cold. I'm just a really nice person offering value, right? They're going to reply back. Sure, yeah, send it over. Then I'm going to reply with a couple questions. Yeah, you got it. How many AEs do you have there? Do you need SDR and BDR content as well? How many managers? Just quick questions that are going to help me kind of qualify. But we just did a value exchange. She's getting free stuff. And my questions I'm wrapping in value as well. Like I'm trying to see if he wants additional stuff, not just 27 qualification questions. Is this making sense to you guys? You're going to get responses to this. Is it going to be 100%? No. Is it going to be triple, quadruple, maybe even 10x that 5%? Yeah. It is. So try these. Okay. Again, I want you to go practice, write them out, take some of this training and incorporate the skills because I am really skimming the surface here. All right. So how much does that personalization help? Our next pop quiz, you're typing in a number. What is the percentage response rate on average when it's a personalized cold email? I love this. We're up to 75%. I love it. I saw a question come in. Isabel, pop that into Q&A for me at the end because it just got scrolled way down past with all of these questions, and I'm going to get to that at the end. Jeff, CYA again with a range. Well done, sir. The answer, 15%. That's the average. It is 25 to 40% higher response rate when you personalize. Amy Wonderlick, did you nail that? I bet you did. Amy's our marketing director. She's incredible at this. You also get really, really good response rates and better open rates when you add emojis, right? You didn't nail it. We probably use different research, but when you personalize it with their name, yes. And then emojis, another good one, right? There's that personality again, folks. And again, it's not just dear Bob, comma, and my pitchy form email that's 3 paragraphs long. It's, hey, Bob, we know each other through, it's something that's customized. You can grab it quickly through your CRM or your LinkedIn. Everything else can be the same. All right. I got my shots out of order. We took shot 5 and now we're back to shot 3. But do you guys know who this is? Can anybody name the song I went and grabbed from YouTube? Name or artist? Oh, I love it that you do it. Well done. That's great. I want to talk about me, Toby Keith. Exactly. I love this song. I'm not going to sing it because I'm tone deaf and my voice isn't working very well. But this is just a hilarious old country song, and it's worth pulling it up on YouTube right now just to laugh. It is written in the pic. Exactly. It's hard to freeze it just like that. It's a funny old video. The whole idea, folks, is that sellers spend too much time talking about ourselves. And our prospects and our decision makers, they want to talk about themselves. Okay. So even when we get them in the conversation, let's say they answered our question, they looked at some of our free training, we get back with them afterwards and we're trying to get them to engage with us. When we come right in and talk about who we are and what we do again, we're in trouble. So here it is. It's time to vote. Which one's better in this conversation? It's pretty easy, right? Yeah. Let's talk about them. Be loaded up with questions. Your sales tools are not your value props. They really aren't. They're your questions. So let's do this again. That was an email. Here's an intro. Oh, they're the same length. Which one's better? Hey, this is LB with Factor 8. We're an award-winning provider of digital sales skills and management certifications that help build confidence and pipeline. Hi, this is LB with Factor 8. I was hoping we could talk about virtual enablement, see if I can help at all. Are you on-premise or remote or a hybrid? Yeah, boom. You got it. This is a version of our famous Swift intro. I'll show you some more here in a moment. All right, we're going to do one more example. Here we go. This one might be this one a voicemail. No, this one's an email. Quick question. Do your sales teams come on site for training? Or B, hey, are you in the market for new hire sales skills training? We have certifications for BDR, AE, ISR, account manager. Oh, love it. Michael's telling us about it. I thought that Blake wrote it. Toby won it. Wait a minute, RIP. I don't even know who died. You're going to have to give me more information. But everybody is definitely getting this right. A, we ask the quick question. It's about them, not about us. Okay. And none of those stupid softball questions like, hey, it'd be a benefit to you to save money, right? That's not a real question, right? You just make people want to punch you. All right. Next, last one here. This might be our voicemail. Which one's better? Hey, Mark, it's important we talk right away. Get me at 555-394-1212. Hey, Mark, I'm calling to let you know about our special this month. We're running 20% off all new training clients who buy at least 20 hours of training. We guarantee at least a 10-point lift in conversation rates. Call me at. Yeah, never, ever, 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 ever sell over a voicemail. You're just guaranteeing they're never going to call you back. It saves you a little time too, bingo. The only way you ever get a call back on B is if literally you found the one guy who's looking for training right then. And if you don't mind making 100 calls and voicemails every single day, you'll probably get one a week who calls you back. But we're going to show you a better formula as well, and you've got to go take the class. All right, this is a quick peek at a Swift intro. Under 10 seconds, it gets them talking fast, and it answers these 3 questions. I'm going to show you 2 examples, but folks, you've got to take this class. The Swift intro is freaking magic. All right, here it is. They are based on I'm going to go to the next one first and come back to it. Swift intros are based on the 6 main business values or motivators. Folks, this is critical. If you need to turn a feature into a benefit, you relate it to one of these 6. Everything folks are looking for in business boils down to one of these. I have done this research and I've trained it to about 30,000 people in 40 different countries. I added one in the last decade that I was missing. They all boil down to one of these. So your best Swift intros relate to one. The first one's money. Bob, hey, it's Lauren with Factor 8. The goal of my call is to see if we can save you, make you, increase your, right, dollars this month. Is your team hybrid or remote? What about time? Hey, it's Lauren calling with Factor 8. I'm calling to see if I can save you 17 to about 22 days of rep ramp time next quarter. Are you guys onboarding any reps anytime soon? So it's a tiny little ear perk that relates to value. And then we end it with that question, which is the instinctive elaboration. So I don't have time to dig even further into it. I'm so sorry to say, but my God, it's magic. You are tricking people into talking to you if you get them to answer the phone, which is awesome. And yes, you should use it even with your existing contacts because you're telling them what the call is about and you're getting them interested. You're getting that buy-in. All right, we're going to talk about emails. 5 seconds to read, 1 closed question, and no pitches. Does that sound about right? This is the formula for all the examples you've seen, and here are 2 more. My subject, QQ, quick question. Bob, I'm on a mission to help revenue leaders hit goals, smiley face. Are y'all onboarding remotely or on site this quarter? Now, I don't know this, Bob, right? This doesn't have any of my personalization. It is just literally saying I'm trying to help. There's a little personality and a closed question. Next one, Bob, I'm on a mission to help sellers hit goals faster. And again, a little personality. Wow, this is important. Are y'all onboarding remotely or on site this quarter? See how it's informal? See how short it is, right? It assumes he knows me. I'm not going to get 100% response rate to this, but I promise I'm going to get more than 5 or 10. All right. The extra shot that goes with all of these folks is that we are following it up with a question. That instinctive elaboration, it's short, it's yes, no, it's 1 word. They should be able to auto answer it. Very often, this is a qualification question. So I'm going to do a pop quiz because I desperately need a drink of water. Type in for me what might be a good swift question. Has these 3 things in common, and we ask it in an email or at the end of an intro. I'm going to get to everybody's questions here in just a moment. In the meantime, practice for a second. This is the difference between a webinar and a training where you can really dig in, practice, get coaching, get feedback, and see examples. Great. Jen, that's one you're using. How many new teachers do you have this year? In fact, Jen, I'm going to make that question too, because I have to think about that. I assume you're calling principals, right? And you sell something for new teachers. They may know this, but they probably know first and easier how many teachers are there. About how many teachers do you have on staff there? How many new coming this next year? It's good to have 3 or 4 of those loaded. Are you monitoring your infrastructure? I'd go even easier than that, Frederico. That one says to me, I'm looking like, ooh, I'm ready to sell you something for your infrastructure. Do you use an outside cleaning service? That's pretty basic. I like it. How many locations, Mark? Yes, that's how simple we're looking at. Jeff, did I spark your interest? That one is that softball question to me. That's the kind where I like to reply back and be like, no, go away. Okay, ask them something about themselves, not something about you. How is service going? Good. I don't know. That one might be too general, but you know your audience, Robert. I don't know who that is. How has ransomware affected your customers this year? All right. I like it, but that's a discovery question. You need to go simpler at the beginning. Okay. It could just be, y'all are a ransomware provider, right? Your last network upgrade, also important, but that's question 5 or 6. Remember, what's our goal? Just to get in a conversation and not to seem salesy and pitchy. So we want to ask a questions. Oh, you're one of our loyal guests, correct? Boom. When we dial out to people, we say, hey, you've been to LB sales shots, right? And right, some people have been to 30 or 40 of them. It's a yes. For other people, they're like, Claire was at the beginning. I'm totally sure. Apparently 2 Robert Bells. That's great. How many workshops do you have this year? How often do you engage with healthcare providers for market insight? Ooh, Stephanie, I'm going to dial you way back on that one. I really have to think about it. Remember, when you outreach to me, I'm busy either trying to clean out my email box or multitask. So when I see your email or get your call, your question has to be so fast and easy for me to answer. I know it in my sleep. My kid knows the answer. My dog knows the answer. Don't make me think. I know you've been taught differently this whole time, and all of that is true in discovery, but not when you're trying to engage a coldish prospect. Cool? Yeah. Are you doing summer school? Jen, you've got this, girl. Really good job. Are you currently working on a pricing strategy? Jeff, make it even simpler. Della, you're the head of blank, right? Good. Good. Are you launching new drugs this year? Really good, right? For pharmacies and dealers, either one. Allison, I couldn't not. Sorry about that. How many new hires? Start with how many they currently have, Emma, before you get to new hires. How many years have you been at? Bingo. Good. Yep. Quinette, I like that. Now, yours and you're the head of blank, right? Are close to, are dangerously on the line of stuff you can learn on LinkedIn. So you can use one of those, right? But then a lot of people are like, listen, if you want to sell to me, then look me up. So you can get closer to it. You're the head of, or gosh, you've been leading sales at organization name here for a few years now, right? So where it's just not 100% sure, like sure, you know what company they're at and what city they're in, but maybe not their specific role, right? Yeah, you got it, girl. Pharmaceutical drugs only. Sorry, Allison. Who was your WOTC provider? Yeah, but it's an obvious sales call. You got the short part right. Easy to answer, maybe, except I don't know what WOTC. I'm sure they do. All right, we've got to move on a little bit, but you see how we're already getting better at this as we coach a little bit. If you think this can help you, go take the class. All right, I'm going to show it to you in just a minute, so you'll see what I'm talking about. Good voicemails, under 10 seconds. They talk to you like they're your BFF. And then we have 4 different types of voicemails we teach that usually triple callbacks: urgency, mystery, value, or lever. I cannot tell you about all of them right now. We have a class called Messages That Get Returned. Write that down. It is a simple skill and it makes all the difference, folks. If you were to get just 1 callback a day, that's 5 more conversations that you're having this week. That's like an extra sales day. It's worth it. Leave the voicemail every single time and use one of these 4 strategies, and you'll get at least 5 more conversations every week. I guarantee it. All right, one other extra shot in all of this, whether it's a voicemail, an email, an intro, use their name and start with it. Okay. It is a pattern interrupter. Remember, they're reading email, right? Victor, did I get your attention, buddy? I'm going to answer your question now. BFF stands for best friend forever. It's a thing that high school girls would put in yearbooks. No wonder you didn't know it. So we start by saying their name. Victor, great question. And then we go into asking our question. All right. One more bonus chaser before I show you guys. Well, gosh, I got a couple more tips before I show you the sales bar. The bonus chaser, this value prop I keep telling you to trash. Here's when you use it. Okay. You jump in, you ask a couple questions, you actually get them in a conversation. You are firmly on first base. You get 4 questions out. If you're really good, you get 5, and they're going to stop you with a question like this. I'm sorry. Who are you with again? Now you deliver your value prop, because they're listening. Oh, I'm with Factor 8. We're actually famous for increasing rep confidence and helping people hit quota faster. How many reps do you have there right now? You follow by that question. Why? Because the more they're talking, the more engaged they are. Awesome. All right, folks, I know that it's tempting to send the breakup email or on call 10 to leave a voicemail like I left you 9 other voicemails, but you can't. This is the game and this is the dance. You've got to smile, pretend it's the first time. And you know what? Be ready to use the guilt, because the nice ones will actually apologize, and that'll help you. Do not give up. The vast majority of sellers will call a contact 1.3 times. It's less than 3% who will try more than 6. But if you try all 6, you leave a message every time and you leave a follow-up email, eventually they're going to respond to you, and you're kind and sweet and cheerful, and then they're going to apologize to you, and they're going to feel a little bad, and they're going to stay on longer with you, and they're going to try to help you. I've watched it work and I've done it myself. If you don't keep following up, the truth is you're kind of proving you don't want it enough. I'm going to tell you a very brief story. I'll show you a little bit about this in a minute, but I founded another company called Girls Club. wearegirlsclub.com. And we're all about helping more women get promoted into sales leadership. And it's incredible. 500 promotions so far. It is the secret sauce. So if you're thinking about getting into management in the next 2 years, make sure that you apply for our cohort this year. If you feel like you're not ready yet, that's your sign that you're actually ready. I've been through this. Anyway, Andrea graduated from Girls Club and she was incredible. She got a promotion into another level of seller and I saw her at a conference. She said, LB, you need my software. And I said, all right, honey, call me and pitch me. She called once and that was it. I didn't call her back because that's the game and I was busy. And if she wanted it, she'd call me back again. And I love this woman, right? I helped her get promoted. She's been part of my Girls Club. And I thought it was a pity. She just didn't want it badly enough. So make sure you keep following up and don't lay on the guilt because you're guaranteeing they won't call you back. Oh my gosh, I've just put too much in this. So the last thing is, folks, we've talked about this, engage, then sell. Okay. When they're actually engaging with you using some of those we've done in the past, this is one other formula that I've seen work. I'm going to show you an example in a minute. Some gratitude, some personalization. Then you're going to add that either swift goal or pain relief, that value ear perk, little credibility, and a call to action or question. Okay, so let's pretend I invited you to some of the free training, right? I'm going to email Victor's boss here. Hey, love your team. Quick chat. Bob, hey, we've seen some of your folks in our training. I love their perspective and their participation. Seems like you're just nailing it over there, right? You've got a solid gold hiring and onboarding process. But I would love to take your opinion, right? Will you give me your take on digital sales this year? I'm seeing time to quota getting longer for a lot of my clients in these positions. And a lot of people are actually doing away with this. Are you open to a quick chat? I'm not selling them anything here, am I? But I'm trying to get them on the phone with me. What I'm trying to say is hold your pitch. Premature elaboration is a common sales condition. In fact, it's the #1 mistake made across all sellers, countries, and industry, and it's not an easy behavior to change. And we address it in so many classes in our subscriptions: uncovering opportunities, what customers care about, swift discovery dialogues, authentic and quick rapport building. We haven't even scratched the surface in this 30 minutes. You got to keep your sales goal a secret and get them in a conversation, ask questions, and talk business. That is the goal, folks. Okay. During these conversations, you're subtly qualifying them. Then if it's just really obvious, they're right in your lane, you use a phrase like, God, I just wanted to chat with you about this, but the truth is we actually do that. Would you be open to learning more about how we might be able to help you solve this? All right, I hope you guys can steal that. I'm going to get to questions in just one moment. I promised you I would show you this again at the end. There are 24 courses in a year in my BDR SDR certification, and that's a subscription. You can go just get the Swift intro class or just get the messages class. I suggest a 6-pack to save some money. So if you have less than 50 sellers, we've launched this Fortune 500 curriculum in the sales bar. It's just for you. They are inexpensive, but they're powerful. If you're serious about filling your pipeline with this warm and cold outreach, you need this, okay? $100 a month is going to be covered in like one more sale in your commission. And wait until I show you some actual results. This discount code, scripts, goes away. The first 20 people, I think one is already gone. Or March 1st, whichever is first. If you come to these regularly, I urge you, go ask for the credit card and get this discount before all newcomers go and snag it. Managers, we can do this for your whole team, including toolkits for you. So if you're attending this as a manager or with your team, DM me directly and we'll show you a discount for your whole team and the tools that you get as well. All right, I want to show this to y'all so that you can just take a quick look. All right. Amy, are we looking at the right screen here in my screen share? Is everybody seeing this certification with the discounted price? Thank you so much. It's I'm never quite sure if I'm going to do it right. All right, this is what it looks like when you go and sign up. I love that you can go monthly or annual to save money. It's not just 2 courses a month, folks. It's thousands and thousands of assets. This is the front page. Welcome to the bar. This is my sales bar. Check this out. You can go take a look at the table of contents and all the things to find. There's an entire video library, a recorded call library. You've got to listen to these. Activities, Oh, there's just so much. I'm going to keep going across here and show you even more. I'm just deep diving into the call library. Folks, all of these that you're looking at are about prospecting. All of them, the good, the bad, the ugly. There are hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of real calls. These are redacted so that you can't hear the actual name of the seller and the buyer, but oh, you can learn so much by listening to other people's calls. Now I'm just going to show you here. You can search by sales stage, by topic or course, or by role. I just clicked BDR SDR. Each of these is a full course. And when I say full course, I mean not a video. Folks, you don't learn from watching videos. Believe me, I've been in this industry for 30 years. You get a lot of followers, a lot of likes, but it doesn't actually stick or transfer skills. You can also come in and search. So I just showed Swift Intro. And look, you're going to have a course, and I'll dig into that in a second. This is the Manager Toolkit. I'll show you that too. But in addition, there's all kinds of tips and tricks in the course chasers and call libraries, actual calls related to it. Let me show you what happens when you dig into a course. It's not just a video. This intro video is going to tell you where and when to use it and what to expect. This e-learning is interactive. You don't go 3 screens without making decisions with this e-learning. That is the brain science of how you get things to actually stick and burn the neural pathways. Of course, there's a quiz, but this is the fun stuff. There's activities. You're going to see script samples, things to do on the job to help it stick, and a coaching feedback form that managers get also, I'll show you in a second, that actually shows you what good looks like. Here's just a peek into the e-learning, not a video, right? Each one of these is a different screen where you're going to read, you're going to listen, you're going to click, you're going to sort, right? You're submitting your answers, you're getting feedback along the way. Here's what the coaching feedback form looks like. Every single skill in here is broken down into what does it look like when you do it well? What does it look like on the customer side when it works? And then, of course, chances to capture strengths and feedback. Managers, if you're on your own training a team, here is a step-by-step guide in how to roll out training so it actually sticks and you get lift. Speaking of lift, let me show you a couple results. I just pulled up like alphabetically some case studies here. AMSR we worked with for 6 months. They had a horrible conversion rate, really great people, but improved 3 points in their results instantly. Look at that. Almost a double in year-over-year increase. Conversion rates went up 21%. What would that do for you? Here's another one. I raised some confidence here. People were excited to dial. 11% in quota attainment, 11% more people hit it, but overall with 30% increase in revenue. Again, what would that do for you? I love this one. This is about quality. So we increased the quantity by 20%, but the quality of leads by nearly double. So these are all possible. These are all normal. In fact, I think I may accidentally have even more case studies back in my PowerPoint. We should be looking at that again. And I will close this up for everybody. Yeah, I do. Here's even more, 35% more callbacks. That's incredible. 21% increase in close rates, hitting a company record in meetings accepted, and double the price per unit. So all of these were when they were working with my team, but using this curriculum that's available to you in a very inexpensive subscription and on sale now. So if you're serious, folks, invest in yourself. Don't just watch the free webinar. Go take some of these classes and get better at it. Work on it for a couple weeks at a time. All right. I'm going to close by inviting my ladies out there to consider a career in management. So many of us wait until we're asked, and then we watch our peers get promoted around us, or we interview our future bosses. And it's time we stop that. I've trained probably 5,000 sales managers around the world, and less than 10% of them are women. And let me tell you something, they don't all know what they're doing. It's okay to go into management and leadership without knowing what you're doing. So if you're thinking maybe management's right for you in the next 2 to 3 years, that's what Girls Club was built for. We open our cohort once a year. It will close in March. That is next month. Please come learn more. You owe your future self this. 70% promotion rate, over 500 promotions and counting. So if you know somebody on your team who's an amazing woman in revenue, or that's you, please go to wearegirlsclub.com/apply. Okay. I'm leaving out my contact information. I'm staying on to answer questions. If you've got the time, I'm here. All right. Question number 1. By the way, thank you. I hope to see you next month. I hope to see the rest of our, I think it's 18 now, promos go by the end of the day. If you're watching this recording, I'm sorry if it's over. Hopefully there's 1 or 2 left for you. All right. Question number 1. How do you add personalization when you don't actually know who you're reaching out to? I'd love to hear what anybody, you're so welcome, Arlene. I would love to hear what anybody else thinks about this. It's tough, right? Take a moment to learn something from their LinkedIn profile. Hey, I see you're in Pennsylvania. My sister lives there. Okay. Or I noticed that you volunteer with. Pick up one thing from their profile that you can call out. Okay. Even better if you're going to be complimenting them. Second question, please send out a recording. You got it. Awesome sauce right back at you. Next one, by using short emails like this, what are the conversion to first meetings that you anticipate seeing? Well, it's a toughie. It really is. As you can see, we got increases for our clients. The most common range is 20 to 30% increase in their current conversion rates. So it kind of depends on where you are now. So if we see that most people are at a 5% reply rate and not all of them convert, if we're going to say it's a 3% conversion and we increase that by 25%, then we got to a 4%. I just made those numbers up. The whole point is trying to jack up the increase, and it depends on where you are and what they look like today. I wish I could be more specific for you. I try to do math on the fly. I don't know how well I did. Stephanie, what training does this content come from so you can sign up for it? Thank you for asking. I hope you saw it and you're still here. We put the BDR 6-pack, the SDR 6-pack, but the best thing to do is the BDR SDR subscription, where you're getting 2 a month and access to all those other video and call libraries. So I used content from the following classes: Swift Intro, Planning for Prospecting. I'm going to type these as I go, okay? Swift Intro, Planning for Prospecting, Messages that Get Returned, Engage, Explore for Opportunity, What Customers Care About, Your Role as a Consultative Seller. I knew I spelled that wrong. Shoot. Sorry about that. Amy, if I forgot any, feel free to add them in. Authentic and quick rapport building as well. And thank you for sending it there, Amy. People can shop around a little bit. Thanks, Stephanie, for asking. I'm so glad you're going to come get the training. You got to do it, right? Don't just watch the webinar, folks. Really, and commit to spending time, right? Take the classes and spend 20, 30 minutes a day. Promise yourself you're going to go apply and try the new skills, and then compare your recordings to the ones that are in the sales bar. I'd love that. That'd be great. Do you only get access to 2 courses a month? Amy, I'm going to let you answer that one, because we dropped 2 new ones a month, but I think the others are in the background. And the truth is, Stephanie, best practice is to do 1 a month. Do 1 course and work on applying it all month long. Work with your teammates, work with your manager, coach yourself, get them to coach you, and then move on to the next skill. When we see people go in and take all of the courses and binge them, it's not much different than just attending a webinar. You're not actually applying and practicing the skills. And you get to pick what courses. Amy, so let's reach out, Stephanie. Give me, pop in your number or your email. We'll answer more of these questions. Okay, love? Danielle, you're welcome. Do you have tips on conducting effective mock sales calls with your team members? Yeah, you bet. It's so important to role play. Here's tip number 1. Let them be the customer. Do a triad, Danielle. So let's say that you've got a whole team, pick 3 people. One will be the customer, one will be the rep, one will be the coach. Use a coaching feedback form. By the way, I've got coaching feedback forms for every one of our classes and skills, but also, Amy, is it top shelf? I know I'm quizzing you right now, but if you can remember, where do you get the coaching feedback forms by skill? Because we have them for a free download. Amy's going to type that in. So use a form and the coach fills out the form. Then you switch and you switch again. Use the same scenario. When you use the same scenario and people get to practice being the rep, the customer, and the coach, wow, burns the neural pathways. It helps them recognize when to use what skills. Like we think we have to be involved in it and we don't. Let them be all 3 roles. The other tip I have is play the pause game. So use call recordings. If you don't have them, use the ones in the sales bar. They don't have to be your reps calls. Play a call for about 10 seconds and then ask 2 questions. 1, what would you do next? Because again, that ramp time, that learning curve, it's not usually about what do I do? It's about when do I do it? So when you have them recall what they learned in training live, it helps them. It's nerdy brain science. It's called active recall. And the more often you go back and recall information, the wider you burn that neuron in the brain, which makes recall in the future faster and easier. It's why we used flashcards as kids. Okay, that was active recall. So you ask, what would you do next? And what is the customer thinking? Because again, it helps us get out of our head and into the customer's head. And it just sort of slows down the game for us. So those are 2 tips I hope you can use with your team. Danielle, I've built hundreds of activities, worksheets, guides, submissions, and call recordings in the sales bar. There's literally 50 manager toolkits in there and manager courses as well. So let me know if you'd like some more info on that. All right. I think we've gotten to everybody's questions. You're sure welcome. I'm glad you're still here, Danielle. Feel free to email me if you'd like more information, folks. lb@factor8.com or salesinfo@factor8.com. Oh, Amy, you did it. Top shelf coaching templates. Boom. Use those 2, folks. I will stay for another second in the chat. If anybody has additional questions, I hope to see you next month. I hope nobody else gets this flu. And I hope you go take the training and get great at this. I want to hear your success stories. I want you to email me with questions. I want you to send me call recordings so I can make you famous in the sales bar as well. Oh, Quinna, how sweet. Girl, you should take the training then. This is a 30-minute webinar when I'm sick. So I'm really glad you enjoyed it. Tell your friends and come back. I'd love to see you again. All right, I'm going to close up the old mailbag here, folks. Thank you so much for your time today. I hope that your year's off to a great, great start, and I can't wait to see you next time. Take care.